Oh, SG, I love you, but I hate you? So as a lot of you guys already know, I have a real love-hate relationship with SGs. It's been going on for a long time, years and years. And until recently, I found this one which I really did like. And even though I like it and I have no plans of getting rid of it, I quickly found some things that I was like, man, I don't like that. But I still like the guitar. Okay, so the first thing that I quickly found out that I did not like, I hated it right out of the gate, was the output jack placement. It's so close to that neck pickup tone knob. I can't really fit my finger in here too much because I'm constantly, you know, messing around, turning the tone and volumes up and down to get different sounds out of the guitar. And this thing causes two issues. For one, like I said, my finger doesn't really fit between the cable and the tone knob, so I have a hard time rolling the tone up and down. But when I do get my finger in between here, it forces my hand to run into the bottom tone knob. So it's just, you know, it's hard for me to use the tone on the neck as much as I would like to, you know. I have to kind of like angle my hand a weird way to get it, you know, to roll the tone up and down. That way I'm not running into that bottom tone knob. So that was the first one. Did not dig that output jack placement on it. And not to mention, obviously it makes your cable stick straight out because it's mounted on the top of the guitar. I know they probably couldn't do it on the side because the body's so thin. But if you put a 90-degree cable on there, it makes that space issue even worse because usually the 90s have a bigger top end on them than what the straight cables do. The next one, I'm sure there are people who are going to love this as much as I kind of disliked it, and that's just how flat an SG is. I think I remember reading a long time ago, you know, the SG came out without the carved top on it because they were trying to make a more affordable guitar that wasn't so time consuming to make, because obviously those curves on a Les Paul and all that stuff take a lot more time and more wood, everything, you know. So you have a thinner body and a really flat top. And the reason why I think I don't like it is this super flat top with this raised, you know, kind of tunematic bridge on it. It's kind of funky for your hand at first to get used to. It's kind of weird. What saves it, in my opinion, are these contours that they put around the edges. I don't know if they did it on all the really old SGs, but at least on this one it has these contours and it saves it. It makes it much more comfortable to play. And I feel like if it didn't have this, it would be like super uncomfortable to play. But those contours really do make a difference. It's just how crazy flat the top on it is. Like I said, it bugged me. I don't know. You let me know. Does that bother you on it at all? I think I'm just so used to Les Pauls having those, you know, nice carved tops on it. Now we talked about the output jack, but I want to talk about just your tone controls in general. Sorry, the tone and volume controls. It's not just the tone controls. They are so close together. You know, I've never had this issue on a Les Paul because they're just more spaced out. But anytime you're operating these, you know, neck pickup controls, you're hitting the bridge pickup controls. And like I said, I'd never had that issue on a Les Paul before. And I just, they're so close together for me to where I was like, why couldn't we have spaced these out? Just a tiny bit more space I think would have solved it, or maybe these could be more angled apart. Because if I'm looking at my Les Paul right over there, and they're really angled, and these are actually kind of angled the opposite way. I don't know. What do you guys think about that one as well? To me, they're just so close. There's so much happening. There's like a bunch of empty real estate, and then tons of controls, output jack, switches, all like crammed in this one little area. It's kind of like on a Strat, how everything is just real close together. I don't know, that one bothered me as well, that these were just so close. Now I'm sure a lot of you are expecting this one. Of course, the SG issue of neck dive. Now, in my Les Paul video, I talked about how Les Pauls have bottom dive, because if you don't hold on to it, it'll bottom dive off your leg. Well, on this guitar, which makes it a little bit uncomfortable to play sometimes, is that it has neck dive. Like if I let go of it, you can see it starts neck diving on it right away. So it's the exact opposite issue of a Les Paul. And the way I kind of counter that is I keep my arm like this on it, so I keep a little bit of extra weight back here and it keeps the guitar sitting up. But I noticed I'm not as free to like move around, see, because I have to be like cautious of the guitar gonna neck dive. Known issue with SGs. I've seen people put, weights on their guitar, all kinds of stuff to kind of counter it, but I don't know. I guess it's just an SG thing. But yeah, that neck dive, it definitely drives me crazy. It's the only guitar I've ever had do this. Now the three-way switch was the final thing that kind of just bugged me the way it was, and it's not so much that it's an SG thing. My 335 has the switch in pretty much the same location, and I never really cared for it on that one either. And it's because down here, obviously coming from a Les Paul background, I'm used to the switch being up here, but even when I got my PRSs, I had the switch, it's kind of back here. I'll put up some B-roll for you. And I really like it being here, kind of out of the way of my hand, and I could easily switch it on and off if I wanted to. The controls were real nice and spaced out. To me, it's right here, and it's just so clustered together that I feel like if we moved this maybe here and then space this stuff over, we could spread it out a little bit more, and it would still, I could get to it just as easy. Boom, neck, bridge, neck, and just be right here. But I think it would just give us more room for everything to spread the controls out. Just a tiny bit more, and I think it would make a big difference. At least for me, if you're the person who is always kind of rolling your volume down and tone and messing with stuff, there's just a lot going on in that real tiny area. So I know that it took up 3 of the 5 things I didn't like were all located right here. So all in all, even all those things considered, I still like it. It has a vibe that other guitars just don't. Who knows, maybe it's all these things that I dislike that secretly make up what I do like about the SG. Because to me, the most important thing of all is how does it sound? Is it worth conquering all these things that maybe aren't ideal for the tone? And to me, it just has. It has so many tones tucked away inside of it. Oh, look, I have my volume rolled down. So, to me, it's worth it. Love them, hate them, they have a sound, and I think that sound is awesome. So that's going to be it. So, other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. If you would, subscribe, hit the like button. I don't know why I did you the peace, sideways, peace sign, scissors, but hey, that's just how we do it here apparently. So, I'll see you all later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye, guys. Woo!